The power cable from the NAS is completely removable and it has two different ends on it. The end that plugs into the column has 4 sockets in it, and the end that plugs into the wheelchair has 3 pins in it. You can only plug them in one way round. You will also see that the 4 socket one has a locking catch on it which locks into the arm support column. This end can then plug into the joystick charging socket and then use the Velcro cable tidy to secure the cable just behind the joystick so that if it's unplugged, the cable won't get caught in the wheels or mechanism of the chair. To use your arm support, you need to plug a switch in. This is our standard switch which plugs into socket number 1. Plug the switch in before plugging the power in, as this is how the arm support knows which type of switch you are using. Now you can push the button to move the arm support up and down. This is an alternating switch which each press alternates up and down. An alternative switch is the rocker switch, which is a directional switch. To use this, I have to unplug the power before plugging the switch in and then powering back on. Now, this switch has a rocker in it so that when you press on one side it moves down and the other side it moves up, and you can choose the direction of the movement. There is also a wireless rocker switch which operates in exactly the same way. Socket number 2 is a spare socket and does the same as socket 1 and can be used if the socket gets damaged. To pair your wireless switch to your arm support, first make sure you don't have any wired switches plugged in, then unplug the arm support from the power and plug back in. I then press and hold the 2 outer buttons until we see the letter F in the display. I then press both sides of the rocker switch, and after this the arm support will operate with the switch. To fit the linked arm, first identify you have the correct arm. The right arm is identified by this white rubber ring at the end of the arm. You also need to make sure you have the arm the correct way up. The pin needs to point down to the floor so it can go into this socket. Then make sure you are holding the arm correctly, as if it's swinging around it can be difficult to fit. I'm going to fold the top arm all the way back on itself so I can grip both tubes with one hand, and that allows me to angle the pin until it's pointing down in a nice straight line through the bracket, and when it's aligned correctly the arm will drop straight in. Then fold the arm open for the client to put their arm in, and on removal you fold it back up, pushing the release catch to lift the arm out. The linked arm is simple to fit. All we have to do is put this pin into this socket. I'm going to lower it in a straight line all the way in, and now it's locked and can't be removed. The locking catch is a small silver ball here, and I'm going to push it sideways whilst lifting the arm up. To show you again, it's a pull sideways on the catch and lift the arm. The arms are removable when not in use. Lift the client's arm out of the linked arm and fold the linked arm up. The arm has 4 joints allowing the client to easily move them. We have varying different sling sizes to suit different arm shapes. This is a narrow frame with the wide elbow. There are wider frames, shorter and longer frames available. The main column is on a quick release so it can be removed from the chair. To remove it, pull the button out whilst lifting the column up. To put it back on, you can see here there is a circular indentation with a small hole in it, which lines up with the tall pin. Slide the NAS all the way down and it will lock automatically into place without me having to pull the button. The fabric of the sling frame is removable for washing or replacement. To remove it, I'm going to undo the Velcro straps at the elbow, and then the front is held on with some rubber tubes stitched into the fabric. With a good firm pull and a twist it will come off. The rubber sleeve stays inside the sling, you can leave it in there for washing. When refitting the sling, first fit the arm strap. This fits on the inside edge of the frame with the Velcro pointing up towards you. Then I'm going to fit the front of the sling. If you find this difficult, a spot of washing up liquid or hand sanitizer can help, but don't use any oil. And then do the Velcro up at the elbow. When the strap is in use, it comes over the arm and then loops back over the frame. It is more secure if you attach this behind the pivot point of the arm. You can also fit a soft wrist cuff by lining the Velcro inside the cuff up with the Velcro on the bottom of the sling, and then fold the cuff back over the front of the sling frame, a bit like a pocket. This can improve wrist comfort and is much easier to wash than removing the whole fabric of the flame. The angle of the sling frame onto the arm has been set specifically by your NETA representative, but this can be adjusted. On the bottom of the frame clamp you will find an Allen bolt which needs a 5mm Allen key. I'm going to loosen this and then we can slide the frame forwards or backwards and we can adjust the angle. Ideally, in its most standard position, the clamp wants to be in the centre, front to back, of the frame, and the inside edge is lower than the outside edge. To set this, I draw a line across the frame using the clamp angle as a guide, and then I drop it about 1 centimetre. And tighten the clamp back up. This is a standard setup and a good starting point. To adjust the speed of your arm support, there are some buttons on the side here. The LED tells us what current speed you're on, which is speed 5, which is quite fast. We can go faster up to speed 9 and down to 1, which is very slow. The arm support will always remember which speed you set it to and will come back on at that speed.